we'll be getting rid of the blueprint as you know it today.
The state's color-coded tier system will be gone in 10 weeks, and the governor says nearly all coronavirus restrictions will be lifted statewide.
We can confidently say by June 15th that we can start to open up as business as usual, subject to ongoing mask wearing and ongoing vigilance.
Newsom says case rates and hospitalizations have been consistently low, and demand for vaccinations is still incredibly high.
We have administered more doses than all but 5 nations in the world.
In total, more than 20 million doses have gone into Californians' arms, and 70% of older residents are now vaccinated. State officials say if all goes well, on June 15th, most businesses can reopen with, quote, common sense risk reduction measures. Newsom says the state's mask mandate is not going anywhere anytime soon, but not everything is being cleared to reopen. Large outdoor and indoor events like music festivals are not returning come summer, and officials say through October, conventions cannot exceed 5,000 guests unless they can prove that everyone is vaccinated or recently tested negative.
Our numbers are looking good, so I think it is the appropriate time, but we just cannot let up.
The tier system is still here for now, and we've officially landed in the less restrictive orange tier. That means capacity is increasing indoors for a lot of businesses, including restaurants, movie theaters, churches, museums, and breweries. Bars that don't serve food can now move outdoors. Live events, amusement parks, and retail stores are also seeing increased capacity. Going to the orange tier also means more fans inside the stands at Petco Park. While this is certainly good news for businesses, the pandemic is not over, and San Diegans are still dying.
I don't want people to give up or think, oh, we have this. Now that we're in orange tier, we don't have to do any of these things anymore.
County health officials can choose to be more restrictive, but right now, Dr. Wooten says she isn't foreseeing any new restrictions and is actually lifting a curfew imposed last year on bars and restaurants.
This has been in effect since July of last year, a 10 p.m. curfew. We will lift that effective tomorrow, allowing those entities to resume their normal operations.
County Supervisor Nathan Fletcher says there has been a slight uptick in cases recently, but
because we made the decision early and to vaccinate seniors and then move into those with underlying health conditions, the threat or risk of overwhelming the healthcare system is much less. And so a slight uptick in cases is not a cause for alarm.
Officials say vaccine supplies are increasing and they will need it. Next week, all Californians over 16 years old become eligible for a vaccination. Matt Hoffman, KPBS News.